What is up, Arizona? Happy 316 Day. I have one for Stone Cold Steve Austin. Thank you so much for staying up with us on 12 Sports Tonight. I'm Cameron Cox. As always, we are not tired yet. We're to catch up with the crew in just a few moments. But first, it is that time of the year. Cue the drama, cue the excitement, right? Time to fill out those brackets, right? Got to start with the best thing of the night, right? They're the best team in the state, one of the best teams in the nation. They had one of the best reactions to hearing their name called for March Madness.
They'll be facing the 13 seed Grand Canyon.
There we go, Lopes up, fresh off winning their first WAC tournament title. The GCU women's basketball team is headed to the NCAA tournament for the first time. Their reaction was just awesome this afternoon. Lopes are the 13th seed in the Spokane region. They're going to open against number 4 Baylor Friday in Waco. Of course, we all know the Lopes had the nation's longest win streak at 30 games, set a school record with 32 wins. Head coach Molly Miller finally leading the Lopes to the big dance in her 5th season at GCU.
We literally got back at 5 a.m., so we're kind of running off sleep right now. But yeah, we're excited, a lot of emotions, a lot of highs, a lot of lows, but you know, we're on the upside right now.
Even the bus ride home, it was worth it. Like she said, we got home at 5 a.m., but it was fun just seeing that for our program.
Let them sleep in. Hopefully they're probably going to go back to sleep right now. A lot of recovery, but then it's time to game plan and pretend like this is just another prep day for another game. That championship atmosphere last night helped us, especially because it was tight. I think that's going to help us this first round game. I think that's a good indicator of what the vibes are going to be like. So that was a great thing for our team to go through last night to continue on to the tournament. I think we belong. I'm so excited for this first round matchup. I know our kids are. We're going to keep basketball the main thing, enjoy the ride and the journey with family and friends, but we're going to be locked in and focused.
Vibes are high. Yes, they belong. The GCU women will be the first local team to tip off in March Madness. GCU and Baylor will start 12:30 local time on ESPNU Friday. Winner is going to get either Ole Miss or Ball State in the next round on Sunday.
To do something they had never done before, GCU had to do something it hadn't done in months. Win a game that went down to the wire. The Lopes were down double digits in the second half. Their NCAA tournament dreams were almost crushed, but they dug deep, and a courageous fourth quarter makes them winners of the WAC. There was an emotional embrace, a trophy for a title, and a net that never stood a chance. GCU's conference championship almost felt like fate.
I said weeks and weeks and months ago that we were going to go undefeated in WAC and we're going to win the WAC tournament.
But before this celebration, some serious consternation. UT Arlington had the Lopes on the ropes. GCU's turnovers were careless, their shots clanking, perhaps on the verge of collapse.
Things were not going our way, but they stayed the course. They didn't get rattled. In the end, they found a way.
Found a way because Trinity San Antonio and Laura Erikstrup found a connection.
It was kind of knowing, like, we've been here before. Let's go finish this thing.
Erikstrup had a single point at the half, then erupted for 16 down the stretch.
After her second point, I said to myself, I needed her and she needed me to get back in this game.
Probably the most selfless person I could think of. She is a true point guard that genuinely cares more about her teammates than herself.
Miller said her message was consistent when the game stayed close.
I said everything you've done to this point has been good enough. You are good enough. You are worthy and you belong and you're good enough.
Her players got the memo, determined to fulfill their destiny and get to the dance.
Obviously, this wasn't the prettiest game, but we trusted one another, and we just said, let's go. This is our time.
And now we get to go to the tournament and we're going dancing. That means everything.
So the nation's longest win streak turns 30. It's the first time ever a WAC team has gone 30-0 in conference play. The Lopes now await their tournament fate during tomorrow's selection show. Molly Miller said the game plan is to do exactly what got them to this point. Her team conquered the conference, and she thinks they'll be dangerous on a national stage.
Lopes up for the men's team after capturing their 3rd consecutive WAC tournament title very late last night. GCU dancing once again. They're the 13th seed out west. They got the 4th seed Maryland Friday in Seattle in the first round. Jake Garcia in the room with the Lopes in Vegas.
GCU already knew it was headed to the tournament, but the selection committee still had them on the edge of their seat here at the Team Hotel in Las Vegas. The Lopes didn't find out their fate until the last quadrant of the bracket was announced. They're headed to Seattle as the 13 seed for a first-round matchup against 4 seed Maryland.
You think this is us right here? for sure.
The anticipation was building, but the anxiety was non-existent.
Is that Charles Barkley?
Grand Canyon had breezed through one bracket, so their spot in the big one already a given.
This might be us. This might be us.
We had to wait a while. Guys, we had a lot of teams coming and going.
Still didn't stop the Lopes from being loud when their school was selected.
Yeah! Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Senior Jacoby Coles likes the draw.
That's a great side right there.
And he knows what it's like to get to this spot.
For the school to be a part of that and the players to be a part of that, it's just a blessing, and it's super exciting.
Coles went to the dance the past 3 years with TCU and won 2 first-round games.
If you can focus on each possession at a time, and focus on each game at a time, and not worry about what's going to happen in the future, who you're going to play, and all this and all that, because that's how I think a lot of teams can go in there and lose.
GCU head coach Bryce Drew knows that feeling of failure. He has a history against this first-round opponent.
I was a head coach before we played in the NCAA Tournament. We lost at the buzzer, basically.
A chance to write a new chapter next Thursday in Seattle.
This week, I thought was our best week of basketball, of the season. And this is the time you want to do it, and you want to play that way.
GCU says the shoe fits, their Cinderella story awaits.
I think we're going to shock the world. Let's get it. Let's get it.
In Las Vegas, Jake Garcia, 12 Sports.
I like that matchup. I like that.
Oh, great stuff, Jake. All right, like every March, 12 Sports going to be following your local teams. Here's a look at the West region. GCU, Maryland, going to tip off Friday. Around 1:30 local time on TBS. The winner is either going to get Memphis or Colorado State on Sunday. Down in Tucson, U of A will be the 4th seed in the East region. They opened up against the 13th seed Akron in Seattle on Friday. U of A, of course, coming off losing the Big 12 title game. All good for Tommy Lloyd's squad. This is the 4th straight trip to the NCAA tournament in 4 years under Coach Lloyd.
I'm not going to get greedy, because it comes out now that the tournament's set, you kind of have to throw the seeds out, and we got to go play the games. And, somebody told me I'm not always into the step, but we played the 4th hardest schedule in the country. So it felt like that at times. So it's good to be rewarded. And, obviously now we're excited to get to Seattle. We're excited to be in the tournament, and we got Akron on our mind.
There we go. U of A, by the way, has not been to an Elite Eight since 2015, going on nearly 10 years. Arizona and Akron will tip off 4:30 local time on True TV. Winner gets either Oregon or Liberty on Sunday. For the biggest storyline of Selection Sunday, here's our insider, Doug Franz, of course, host of the Doug Franz Unplugged podcast. He lives for March Madness.
My number one storyline is I got to give the tournament committee credit on one thing, and that is I actually think they got the seeds right. Usually every year they blow the seeds and have a good team seeded lower. That's bad. They got it right this year. The thing that drives me crazy about this tournament committee is anybody who voted yes to North Carolina being in are the same people that didn't think that was targeting and were protecting blue bloods from other teams. North Carolina does not belong in this NCAA tournament whatsoever. They have one quad one win. Bad move, tournament committee. And then to find out that old Bubba is the guy in charge, the athletic director of North Carolina, and then they say, oh no, he left the room when we took a vote. Yeah, and who's the one that's going to tell him when he comes back in the room, we voted your school out? That was a joke by the committee. UNC should be in the NIT. I think they've got problems. John Gross is a guy that won 3 of the last 4 MAC championship tournaments to get here. So it's not like Akron in any way is confused about being here. They're also one of the best shooting teams in the tournament. And you're going against the Mid-American Conference Player of the Year and a team that has 1 conference loss. I'm sorry. I like Akron in this game. U of A could wreck my bracket. I could see U of A looking past, like they do often in the NCAA tournament. I could see Caleb Love struggling, and I could see Akron winning. If you give me any other 4 seed, I'm taking GCU to advance. I do think the Seattle issue will help. The idea that Maryland's got to go clear across the country, I just don't like the matchup at all. Angel Reese's brother is on this team. He's 6'8", 250. Derek Queen is a great Big Ten freshman. They both nearly average double-doubles. I don't like the matchup. Give me GCU against any other team on the 13-4 line except Maryland. I'm taking the Terps.